can you think of a Christian figure who has role modeled Christian political engagement?
And I would obviously well, there's always going to be a danger that when you're the only British person on a panel, you're going to say the Queen. But there is something quite astonishing now in a culture that is becoming increasingly secular. For the head of state regularly, not just to bring up her faith, but actually to express a theology and a public theology as well. And I think this was most clear during the pandemic, when arguably she was the most prominent she was the most prominent person engaging theologically with the enormity of what was happening. And I was very struck by the fact that on Easter Eve, there was a secular campaign to put a candle out in your window, or hold your candle up in memory of those who had died. Now, you might think that Easter Eve is a day on which Christians might have something to say about death, candles, and resurrection. But the bishops of the Church of England, most of whom engaged in this, the word clearly went out on, you must do a tweet with holding a candle. And it was all in memory of those who had died, full stop. The Queen put out a video, straight out of the blue, in which she had a sustained 10-minute reflection on candles, light, death, and resurrection, and how it was light shining in darkness, and how the light that was coming into the darkness was Christ's resurrection. And that's what we Christians believe today. And actually, that's an incredibly brave thing to do in a country that now only has 2% of people going to an Anglican church and probably another 2% going to any other church. Actually, putting yourself, when you're supposed to be the figure for unity for everybody, it's much easier to be Magnolia and say nothing. We don't do God, as Alistair Campbell said to Tony Blair. And yet, she felt that in the middle of a pandemic, her job as head of state was actually to make a theological statement about life and hope and Christ. And actually, that's quite big right now.